Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another recap of Bad Boys Texas episode 8, Touchdown. So Big Lou, he went to the hospital and he's now on his way home. So he's in the car and he ends up calling Jonathan and he lets him know what's going on. He was found out that he got bronchitis and they also got asthma. And he's basically on his way to the house to talk to everybody to let him know the status and whatnot. So that was that. Now they're at the house. They got Adonis, Orlando, and Rellz. They're talking, but also in walks Chef D. And they all talking and whatnot. They talk about what their plans is and stuff like that. Talk about how see if Big Lou's okay. And Orlando was like, he's sick. He's at the hospital. But little do they know, Big Lou just walked into the house. And now everybody else is starting to like gather around into the sitting area and whatnot. So as they talking about Big Lou walks in. Jonathan gets everybody up together. And he basically lets them know that, listen, had I not went to the hospital last night, I basically would have died. I found out I got bronchitis and I also got a stage 2 of asthma. And everybody's like, yeah, I get it, and stuff like that. So he also let them know that he's on his way home to visit his family because, you know, health is wealth. Like, if you're not right within, how can you be right on the outside? So everybody was kind of sad that he left. And, yeah, so now everybody wanted to do flag football because of Prince. So there's like teams of 5. So they outside and whatnot. Jonathan decided he wasn't going. Jonathan decided he wasn't going to change his clothes. So basically, he just got on some boxers, a robe, and a bonnet. He just goes outside. So Prince and Chef D are captains. So they pick who they want on their team. So on Prince's team, you have Rellz, Jonathan, whatever. They got 2 teams, whatever. So they're going back and forth playing. So at first they was doing flag football. Ara ended up hitting, I think, Chef D's team a touchdown. And then everybody just started going back and forth with it. It was going really, really good. Then at one point, they was like, nah, forget this. So they started doing it more aggressively. And they was really surprised that, you know, Rellz did his thing. He was like, listen, I'm going to show y'all. This is a side y'all ain't never seen before. And everybody was really impressed that, Rellz really got the moves. Like, he can do this. So they kept going back and forth playing the game or whatever. And then they got us more intense. And then at one point, Mo City, he basically pushed Adonis really hard that he ended up flying down the hill with the ball. And then at one point, R.R. saw that. He was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not playing anymore. It is what it is. I got y'all a touchdown. It is what it is. So I believe Rell's team they won 5. It gets with 5-on-5. And whoever gets the 5 points wins. So, yeah, it was 4-3, and then Rell's team got the 5th one, so that was at 5-3. So, after that, they went inside and went up to take a shower and whatnot. I think it was Rellz, Chef D, and somebody else. They were talking about it was a good game. But, Prince. It was a good game. But, at some point, Raz was being a little annoying. He was just screaming out stuff and everything. I was just like, dang, pipe down. You didn't have that same energy for your B2K members, but whatever, we not going there. But I'm like, dang. So after that, later on, they decided they want to go to the studio. So everybody then got showered up and ready to get ready to go. So as they getting ready to leave out the house, Kerrione and Rellz get into it. And all the other boys are looking like, well, dang. What just happened here? So eventually everybody gets on the sprinter and whatever. And the conversation ensues. So Rellz was there, and he was like, listen, this is what I said. And he was like, listen, Kerrione feels as if Rellz was throwing shots at him, but at the same time, Rellz gave Kerrione a compliment and talked about Kerrione is Kerrione. This is just what it is. But Kerrione's like, this is just exactly how it was last season. It is true though. People feel as if just because he's Kirk Franklin's son, he doesn't have no musical input of being an artist. This dude grew up in the spotlight. He been in studio since before he can walk. Like, what are you saying? You coming at this man like he don't have no integrity and he don't know what he's talking about. Like, listen, he probably know more than what you know. Trust me. You know who his daddy is. Like, regardless how he feel about his daddy, like, he got the input. He got the knowledge. Like, come on now. So, basically, that's how Kerrione feels. And Rellz told Kerrione, like, listen, Mo City was there. He can tell you what I said. He was like, listen, Kerrione, I love you and all, but listen, he was really trying to give you a compliment and stuff like that, but Kerrione wasn't trying to have it. Next thing you know, Rellz is spazzing out on him, like, listen, I will hit you for all this. So then he started throwing stuff at him, and then they end up, Prince started getting in the middle of it. He was like, listen, next thing you know, you see Rell's arm go over to him. He's like, listen. Prince was like, no. Raj was like, no. Dang it. Rellz was like, Prince, why are you standing here? He was like, yeah, because I was trying to prevent you from hitting him. Like, well, you shouldn't do this. So Prince moves out the way. And them two going back and forth. And next thing you know, Kerrione moves on the other side of Jonathan. And Rellz is talking to Chef D. And he was like, these are your glasses? He was like, yeah, because we about to have shots. So next thing you know, Chef D pulls out some cups and he pours out a drink to everybody to get some shots so they can have a drink. Mind you, I guess Kerrione at this point is on the phone talking to Natalie, talking about how the stuff went down. And Rellz is just like, oh. And then you got Jonathan talking, but he's basically trying to overcrowd and shadow what Kerrione's saying, but we already know what he's talking about. He's like real livid or whatever, talking about how this is still how it was last season and stuff like that. So Rellz is at it. He's adamant, like, listen, my guy, I got to get to this guy. I got to get to him. Either way, look, I'm still going to hit you. And it's not going right. So at that same time, after they're drinking and stuff like that, back and forth bickering, Rellz was like, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you. And then you got Chef D egging him on the side, like, do it, do it, do it, do it. So Kerrione still talking to Natalie on the phone or whatever. Next thing you know, all you see is Rellz get up and climb over and fight happens. Like, bro, what in the world? So that was it for this episode. Really. So next week's episode showed them still continuing to fight and whatnot. And then something else takes place or whatever. But yeah, this episode was intense, but it was good at the same time. And it was just like, it's never 24 hours without somebody bickering and fighting. And this time I'm actually glad it wasn't Chef D. I'm really glad that it wasn't him this time. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. And y'all stay tuned for next week's episode. I got y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.